Yay! Part 2 is finally here of K-pop predictions. So I originally recorded this actual audio over a year ago in August 2024. So there's definitely going to be a lot of inaccuracies and stuff that has changed and is definitely not true at all, or is true and we just don't know. But I'll mention it in the edit just to clear up any misinformation. This will go up to 2024, as I'll probably do a separate 2025 video once the year is done. Also, I did have an original 2025 predictions video planned and recorded that I was going to upload at the start of the year, but I never did it because I never had the time to do it, so I can react to those predictions then. Also, I ramble a lot in these videos because I am literally just looking and recording, reacting to it, so that it isn't scripted at all. I found the first video so much fun as well, and the response to it was great, so thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy this one as well. Let's go. Okay, now on to 2020 predictions. Luna releases a full album and goes on tour. Well, here's the thing about obviously going to 2020 predictions. This thread was allegedly made 3 weeks before the end of 2019. So obviously we kind of knew nothing about with what was about to happen in 2020. Obviously back then that certain virus was known of and it was named, but it wasn't seen as anything that much really yet. Luna does release 2 mini albums, but let's be honest, any sort of world tours predicted this year is just going to be no. I mean, there were some world tours that were planned for, but obviously they had to be cancelled for obvious reasons. SNSD OGG has a comeback. No, that didn't happen. ITZY has a collaboration with a US artist. I don't know if this counts as collaboration, but on their Wannabe album they had a kind of collab with Oliver Heldens, but I think that was more for producing, and obviously on 24 Hours they managed to get one of the best producers ever, Sophie, on there. May she rest in peace. But they didn't have any collaborations as in with big artists when they also feature vocally on the song, I don't think. IOI, or most of them, released music again. No, I don't think IOI had a reunion this year, but a lot of the individual members from it, or the groups that had IOI members in it, did release more music. Wendy released a solo album. I mean, again, this is actually right before Wendy's accident happened, so it was, I think, just before Psycho happened anyway, so obviously we didn't know that, but Wendy doesn't release a solo album until 2021. NCT Dream unit fixed with current members. Yes, after a while they did fix the current members for NCT Dream, and this is when they came back this year riding, I think. What I want to happen this year? Multiple Blackpink comebacks? I mean, kind of. I mean, I guess you couldn't, if you count how you like that and Ice Cream as comebacks, or releases for album, then yes. But I would count yes. How You Like That, Ice Cream, and then Loves It Girls with the rest of the album. I would say yes. Wacky Mickey gets a hit song. In My Heart, Cool was a hit, but it wasn't a massive hit, I don't think, domestically or internationally. Red Velvet drops a song that takes over the summer like Red Flavor. Oh, I mean, we got Irene and Sulgi this year, which had an amazing comeback with Monster, and then Red Velvet were part of our beloved BoA SM Town mix with Milky Way, but obviously there was no Red Velvet comeback this year due to obvious reasons. Dreamcatcher gets their first win. No, they get their first win in 2022 with Maison, but yeah, which is kind of insane to think about it. Dreamcatcher should have got their first win many years before. GFriend keeps going as a top 5 girl group. They definitely had some of their best releases this year with Apple and Mago, and that definitely, I think, blew them up even more. This is also their last year as a group though, unfortunately. Okay, this is quite an interesting one. I'm going to give 9 guesses in by descending percentage chance I think will happen. 90% chance that ITZY will make their Japanese debut next year. Did they? I mean, they had Voltage, right? ITZY, Voltage, or was it blah blah blah? I think Voltage was the first one. Okay, so they released their first Japanese single in 2022, which is quite surprising actually. So yeah, you still got another. It's actually the most confident prediction is still wrong. You had to wait another 2 years, but it's still a good prediction, I'd say. 80% chance that Psy releases new music featuring Jessie or Hyuna. I don't know if there was a collab between them, but Jessie and Hyuna definitely released more music under Psy's entertainment company. 70% chance that Dreamcatcher will get the first win. Unfortunately not. Gotta wait another 2 years. 60% chance that Big Hit will buy out another company. Early 2020 is when, it's early 2021 when kind of hype started and all that. But Big Hit did buy out Source Music earlier in the year, I think. And then that kind of got the ball rolling to be what hype is today. 50% chance that Mnet does a survival show. Didn't Big Hit and Mnet come together to create Island #1, which created Hyper, or I think it was something else? That might have been Mnet. 20% chance that Twice releases a non-Japanese, non-Korean language song. Yes, you could argue that Cry For Me, the English version, was kind of that, and they have English versions of other songs, but they don't release a full English version, and that being the only version kind of thing. 10% chance that Blackpink has 2 comebacks. Yeah, actually, that's probably surprisingly, that 10% happened whilst the 90% did. That's really interesting, but no, good predictions there. Sugi makes her solo debut. She makes a unit debut with Irene with Monster, but she doesn't make a solo debut until 2022. BTS has 2 comebacks. Suga and JK will both drop solo albums/EPs. The Tannies have 3 comebacks actually. They have obviously starting off basically a couple of days into the year. Hey guys, we got our 4th studio album, Map of the Soul 7, that's releasing February 21st. Here's like the schedule and everything, and people are like, fuck. So they have Map of the Soul 7 with On and the pre-release Black Swan, which I guess, I don't know if Black Swan counts as a comeback or not. Dynamite, it definitely counts as a comeback. And then you have B with Life Goes On. So technically, if you include Black Swan, they technically have 4-ish comebacks. If not, they definitely have a solid 3. So one more than this person predicted. Yoongi obviously has his 2nd August D album with D2. JK releases some more covers as well. He releases Still With You. Was it Still With You was this year? Yes, he released Still With You this year. But Yoongi has the only album or mixtape released this year. New SM girl group will debut. Finally, I can be happy to say that this one is finally right. In 2020, we get the next SM girl group, which we know is now aespa. And they kind of debuted awkwardly because, well, we'll find not awkwardly. I just remember it kind of coming out when there was like kind of a bunch of scandals within SM and everything, and people were like, AIs, what is this? Who's nervous? What the hell's going on? But luckily now we know how amazing aespa are. Mamamoo has a comeback. They do no world tour. TXT had their first song that smashes it with the Korean GP. The music stays fun and upbeat. They do not go for a dark and edgier sound. Can't You See Me? That's definitely dark and edgier and it's a darker sound, but it's done in a way when it's TXT. Still has like a whimsical, magical feel to it. But then Blue Hour comes along and definitely continues their kind of like bright concept. I think Blue Hour was definitely way more GP friendly. I think that got some, but I can't really remember too much. X1 and IZ*ONE come back in the first quarter. Oh, X1. They basically disbanded, I can't remember when, but not that far into 2020 because of it being covered that the votings in the survival shows are basically rigged. IZ*ONE do have a comeback in the first quarter with Fiesta though. BTS will continue to dominate and somehow outdo 2019 in every aspect. Yeah, they do. Map of the Soul 7 becomes the best-selling album ever in Korea, and they get, again, more #1 hits for albums, and they get their first #1 song on the Billboard's Hot 100 with Dynamite as well, and that becomes one of the biggest songs ever of the year and gets them 101 million views in 24 hours on YouTube, which is insane. Just a lot of keep outdoing themselves. So with that, 2020 is obviously the most interesting one to look at because it's clearly the most unpredictable year in all of this, not to do with anything with K-pop, just to do with world events. And it's interesting to see some people get bang on the mark again and some people just say stuff that is obviously not right. But again, like I said, it's always interesting to look at it. But let's go on to the next year. 2021 was a year that existed. After the shit show that was 2020, just going to 2021, just anything happening was just still a shit show. But yeah, it was interesting. Let's go read some more opinions from this year. From OP, normally person who posts everything, he say that Luna has 3 comebacks. We got Paint the Town. I can't remember if they went to the tour or not, but we have Paint the Town, at least. A second Blackpink member actually releases solo music. 2021 was the year when we got Rose and Lisa's solo, but no Blackpink comebacks. aespa has at least 2 comebacks and adds more members. aespa technically do have 2 comebacks with Next Level and then Savage, but no new members are added, and obviously since then no more members have been added. Shiny comeback, Taemin and List. Yeah, that's what happened. Shiny had a comeback with Don't Call Me and then a repackaged comeback with Atlantis, and that's when Taemin enlisted. This person says Dreamcatcher first win, but this time for real. Again, so close. 2022, almost there. Chungha will release her delayed first album. She does in February with Corinthia, which was one of my favourite albums of the year and did very well. G-Idol will go viral, the next hit, and become even more popular worldwide. They'll release their first full album. 2021 for G-Idol was not great, unfortunately. They had Hwa, which they released in January, which was really, really good and with a really good mini album as well. But they don't have another comeback for another year and a bit, as we know, as unfortunately Soojin had to leave the group. But the next comeback after Hwa is their full album. ITZY will release some more mini albums and I'll have another dance go viral. I don't know. I mean, virality wise, I don't have TikTok, so I don't know if it went incredibly viral on there. But Mafia in the Morning and Loco were definitely hits in my books. Loco definitely, they had and Loco being part of Crazy in Love, their first full album, one of the best ITZY comebacks in my opinion. It was really, really good. Everglow will gain more popularity, their upcoming comeback. No, unfortunately. First, it was just seen as another girl crush concepts with EDM and a drop that didn't really separate itself from others, and then obviously had Pirate in the later year, but this is when it started kind of slowing down for Everglow, unfortunately. Stacey will become popular and have a monster hit. Definitely after So Bad, I think all eyes were on Stacey, and they had a year with ASAP and Stereotype, which were really, really good. Stereotype being my favourite, and also having like good mini albums to show as well. A new girl group will release a song that will go viral on TikTok, gaining attention. I guess you could argue that, again, Weekly's After School blew up a lot, and that was one of the biggest songs of the year. aespa comebacks will be focused on their AI counterparts, similar to KDA. Not really. I say the most that really focused on it was Savage, but I'm kind of happy that actually aespa's music, especially now, doesn't really have their A's or AIs in there a lot, really, or at all. Absolute bloodbath of girl group debuts for the year. Mystic, new girl group. Purple Kiss, YG, new girl group. That doesn't happen, don't worry. Big Hit, new girl group. That doesn't happen until 2022, but then that becomes a bloodbath in 2022. Island, new girl group. Doesn't happen until like last year. Starship, new girl group. Oh, we'll get to them. Willem, new girl group. I don't know if that happened. I don't know who 8D new girl group is. Happy Face. I don't know half of these. The only ones that really stick out to me is Purple Kiss, but then YG new girl group doesn't happen until last year, and then Big Hit new girl groups don't really happen until 2022, and then Island new girl group doesn't really happen until this year kind of thing, and then Starship new girl group, that is probably the biggest one. On the boy group front, I'm not sure what to expect. Cypher is I don't know what happened to Cypher, and I was talking about Bill Cypher, but I don't even watch Gravity Falls. ESP Boys, I don't know. Cube new boy group, I don't know if that happened. New NCT unit, NCT Wish, but then I don't know how big that was at all really. However, I think it'll be girl groups that definitely define the 2021's debut. Yeah, they do. Unless I'm being stupid, I cannot remember any boy group that debuted in 2021, but I will say it was a especially with Kingdom happening, you kind of do see the kind of like stability of the 4th gen boy groups coming forth, you know, the TXT, 80s, Stray Kids, The Boys, Gravity, Treasure, and all that. I'm probably missing like an obvious one as well, but they definitely come through as well. Wendy rejoins Red Velvet for OT5 comeback, then the industry is left in shock as Irene leads the group upon the expiration of her contract. I think things could cool down enough for a group comeback, but Irene's scandal will never fade away fully in my opinion. The group mates of 4 will probably embark on more individual activities. Wendy/Sugi's solo debut, Joy acting, Yeri TV hosting. Whoa. Well, I'm glad to say you're wrong. There's an 85 comeback with Queendom. Irene doesn't leave. In fact, all the members re-sign their contract, I think. Wendy does have a solo debut though, and then so does Joy, and then Yeri gets into some acting things, and Irene just kind of lays a bit low, but the scandal kind of went away because I think most people kind of realised after a while, it's not that big of a deal compared to other things. CLC either get their long-awaited full album in the wake of Helicopter's success, or waits out their contracts till Q disbands them in 2022, focuses on individual activities for this year. Unfortunately, Cube is stupid and didn't give them a full album, and basically does wait out their contracts until they would disband in 2022. BTS, first half dedicated to promoting B a little more. Yeah, definitely, they had their second release of the B album, and they definitely do some promotions, especially when after Yoongi came back from his shoulder surgery, I think, and they have a Japanese release with Film Out in 2021 as well. Stray Kids, this will be the year they blow up. I feel it in my bones. Yes, I think continuing their momentum in 2020, they definitely continue to blow up. I mean, No Easy and Thunderous were big, and they won the Kingdom, and they had their Christmas album, which was quite fun, but to even get there in the first place was hard because the first half of 2021 was not fun for Stray Kids and all that. When we got Mixtape O, when that released, that was just such a light at the end of the tunnel. So this definitely continues the momentum, but I don't think there was an effect. Them blowing up doesn't show until 2022 personally. That's just what I experienced today, but they definitely continue blowing up this year, which is really good. Many of the biggest 3rd gen girl groups are a lot quieter, with Twice, Blackpink, G-Friend, Mummy and Red Velvet focusing on many solo sub-unit activities, maximum 1 comeback during the year, plus units/solos. Oh My Girl has a big follow go up to non-stop and arguably takes top 3 girl group spots thanks in part due to how active they are compared to the rest. There's no, I mean, we know what happens to G-Friend, they disbanded this year I think, which was so sad. Mamu, I can't remember what happened to Mamu in 2021. Twice they have 2 comebacks and they kind of still continue that. They don't do as well on the charts, but they still kind of hit it out of the park popularity wise, so it doesn't really matter anyway, it's still good. And then Red Velvet do start focusing on solo activities, but that's also in due to Wendy coming back, and you know, why not, they still do have a comeback as well. Okay, I'm probably going to leave it there for 2021 groups because that was a lot to talk about. Let's go on to 2022 and just hope it doesn't take as long. 2022, my god, was this a year. This was a massive year where things changed so much. There were amazing comebacks, there were big new debuts, a kind of shift from one big generation to another. It was a lot, so let's get into this as well. My god. Luna creates a new subunit, no, and basically with Flip That and everything was kind of the last bit of Luna. At least they went on Queendom though, that was good. Kepler will do better than expected. Wild to Die, yes, was massive, but after that the momentum was kind of weird. G-Idol releases pre-release single, then full album. Not sure about pre-release single, but they do have a full album this year with Tomboy. Blackpink come back with a single. They had the single release with Pink Venom, but then they had the full album with Pink Venom, Shut Down and all of that with Born Pink. Sugi solo debut, yeah, that happened. Stray Kids go on tour, next comeback blows them up even bigger. Maniac was massive. Definitely it's the album that it's the comeback that got their first #1 album on the Billboard charts. And then I think they did have a world tour, the Maniac world tour. I think that happened. But yeah, they definitely blew up so much this year. JYP new group is huge. They blow past even Aspen recognition. No, not really. I don't think MX really got to that level yet. I hate to say it, but Dreamcatcher still won't get a win. I am happy to say that this year they do. They finally get their first win with Maison, and it is worth the while. It's so good. The rookie girl group or Weekly again will drop a song which is internationally impactful as After School. Yes. I mean, New Jeans debuted this year, and Attention Hype Boy were massive when they came out, and even Ditto at the end of the year was massive. So yeah, IVE will have 3 comebacks next year and continue to gain popularity. They only have 2 comebacks this year, but one of them was Love Dive, and we know how massive Love Dive was. aespa will release their first full album and break into the Japanese market. I mean, if you're talking about 2024, you'll be right, but 2022, none of that happened. They released their second mini album, and that was it basically. Red Velvet will come back in the second quarter with hopefully a full album. Irene and Silky subunit comeback maybe. Red Velvet have 2 comebacks this year with Feel My Rhythm and Birthday. They have a Japanese full album with Wild Side, which was massive as well, and they do like a lot basically this year. And then also Sugi has a debut as solo artist with 28 Reasons. Hive new girl group will debut. Psych, 2Do, The Seraphim and New Jeans, which become absolutely massive in the year. I mean, because you have Fearless and then Attention and Hype Boy, and then you have Anti-Fragile and then Ditto all in one year basically, which is massive. SNSD come back, either OT5 or much better OT8 in a full album, hopefully with better promotions. They do with Forever One, a BTS Korean mini or full album. Jin might enlist earlier than December 4th. They have an anthology album, and then obviously after that on their anniversary they just kind of said, hey, we kind of need to we want to just stop doing like a lot of group activities for a while because we had a plan, but then pandemic kind of fucked it up and we're all kind of not doing good well if we continue like this and not address that. We just kind of need to stop for a while to make sure the relationship is in a healthy way kind of thing. So we're just kind of going to stop doing like normal group promotions and stuff whilst we focus on our solo stuff for a year and a bit. Oh yeah, in October, and also we got this concert in October, which a couple of days afterwards we all realised that we're going to be enlisting basically the next year. This is great, guys. Yeah, that was an emotional rollercoaster of the year, and Jin did enlist by the end of the year in 2022. I think it was more around the 10th. It is now obviously August 2024, and he has obviously been back for a couple of months, and Hobie should be back in the next 2 months, and then we've got another long gap to wait for them, but again, we'll find out what happens there. But yes, that happens there. Yeah, 2022, like I said, was an interesting year. This is definitely the year where you can definitely see 4th gen kind of starting to really helm the reins of K-pop in general. So yeah, it was a lot. Right, so now we've actually made it up to last year, 2023. New Jeans achieves an all kill. I think they did with Ditto or Oh My God or one of those, maybe with Super Shy. But yeah, definitely with that. MX didn't have a new member, obviously, at the end of 2022. It was a shock when Ginny decided to leave MX or terminate contracts or something like that. She re-debuted as soloist but no, they haven't added a new member. BTS members do something special for their 10th anniversary. They do release Take 2, the single which they recorded before they started enlisting, and just had a bunch of things they normally do for Festa Week as well. A lesser known 4th gen girl group from the smaller company will drop one of the most viral hits of the year. I'm thinking Purple Kiss, Rocket Punch, 50/50, both domestically and internationally. Yeah, you kind of got that with 50/50 releasing Cupid, which was amazing. And Mix will get their first win for the next comeback. Yes, they did win for Love Me Like This. GQ's solo debut, yes, definitely. She debuted in August of that year with Killing Me Good and a mini album. All the major 3rd gen girl groups are still standing. Blackpink, Red Velvet, Twice, Mamamoo do not disband and carry on as they have been for the past few years. Yes, I mean, there wasn't a Blackpink comeback last year. There was GC solo, there was the girls, but that was to do with the video game, not really anything else. Yes, Red Velvet had a comeback with Chill Kill and the album. Twice had a comeback with Ready to Be with Set Me Free, and I think Mamamoo, I don't know if they come back or not, but they're still, I think some of the girls left RWB but are still like together as Mamamoo, if that makes sense. So luckily that's still going on, but none of them have disbanded at all, so that's correct. Somi finally gets a comeback, but only pre-released singles in 2023. She has a full comeback with a mini album of Fast Forward. I know everyone thinks Blackpink won't renew, but honestly, why wouldn't they, lol? So my first prediction on this list is that Blackpink will renew their contracts. They did as a group, some of them as soloists set up their own company. Just as 2022 was the year of the girl groups, next year will be the year of the girl groups part 2, lol. Companies will realise that boy groups' biggest strength lies in the fandom and not in the GP, and will only focus on getting a strong fan base for their upcoming debuts, leading to less GP friendly music and more experimental as it can get in K-pop music. Yeah, I think there are going to be boy groups who can do a little bit well, but girl groups are definitely the main dominations, and boy groups can last long just by having a core fan base basically. So yeah, that probably would make sense. Stray Kids / English single and 3rd full album. Yes, they have their 3rd full album with 5 Star and S-Class being the main track of it. First English single, don't think so. YG New Girl Group is teased heavily for 2024 or debuts. I think they definitely debut this year, but they started releasing some music in 2023. Jungkook does more collabs with Western artists. I mean, what did he get? He got Latto, he got Jack Harlow, he got Justin Timberlake, he got Usher. Red Velvet full album, yes. Luna disbands, kind of basically. Yeah, I think with those 2023, and here we are 2024, the year we're currently in. Right now in 2024, we're basically up to end of August, start of September. This might be post in September, so a bunch of stuff has happened, but I just say I'm recording this right now in August, so there might be stuff that I will go through. I'm like, oh, I don't know if it's happened or not. That might have happened or might not happened, basically. New Jeans has a North American tour. New Jeans are in a weird place right now. I don't know, especially with everything going on with Adore and Hybe and everything. Maybe, but I'm not sure yet. ITZY will get personal Instagram accounts. Yes, they have. Before Mr. Comeback, they recently came back with Supersonic, which is actually performing really, really well and is really good as well. CV1 continues to rise in popularity and be successful with their next comeback, doing even better than before, and a speculated world tour in the latter half of 2024. Yes, they definitely do become more popular. G-Idol will come back in January with another bold concept and have another viral hit. I think Fate was very close to getting a pack on the charts, but Super Lady was definitely really big this year. Cat's Eye will be more successful than people are predicting. Yeah, I definitely think they are, the kind of their recent debuts definitely been big, but that's alongside with the Popstar Academy show has been controversial to say the least, but it should be alright. From kind of realistic to Hell Has Frozen Over, Jin will release an EP in the second half of the year after his return, expect to fall in the December range. Well, we don't know. I still think there is definitely a chance for him to do that. I guess it makes sense, but obviously I don't want to put any expectations on him to feel like he has to put something out, because that's what people expect from him. BTS will release another OT7 song for 24 Festa, and they didn't, but it's fine. Honestly, it's fine. You know what? BTS really should release a live album. It's insane they haven't yet, because they could literally take any concert and be like, here's a live album, and it'd be perfect. TXT will release 2 EPs between spring and fall, embarking on a new tour somewhere in the summer. No tour, but they did release the Deja Vu mini album in April, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do release another I think they are preparing for another comeback, probably this autumn. The Seraphim will have an EP in February, yep. World tour in summer, no. Followed by another EP at the end of the year. We have an EP tomorrow, which is August, but not end of the year, but who knows what will happen. aespa will release a full album in the spring, an English album in the summer, followed by a new tour accompanying said album releases. Yes, full album in the spring, right, no English album at all in the summer. I think an English album for them was rumoured, but it never happened, or it's not happening right now anyway. 3Ratchet has a solo album, produces a song for another JYP act. So far, no, this hasn't happened. I think there is a chance that 3Ratchet could have a solo album this year with a proper debut this year as well, but I think it's just likely we'll probably get another Stray Kids Kids come back this year instead, or if not, maybe another Christmas comeback. That'd be cool. Christmas Evil was really, really good, so I'd like to see Stray Kids do something like that again. But again, you know, never say never. Although I have a feeling that Stray Kids will announce a tour soon, so could we possibly have like a smaller comeback and then to kickstart the tour off with that, but then who knows. Purple Kiss, Billy or Kiss of Life will get a win. Kiss of Life have got a win with Sticky, definitely. I'm not sure about Purple Kiss or Billy though. A boy group will get a record or pack and it's not a Christmas song. I'm so glad I recorded this today, because if I recorded it any other day it would be no, but today, Day 6, the band Day 6 got a real all-time kill with their new song, which is amazing. I've always listened to Day 6 kind of on and off, but they've always had music I've enjoyed so much, and seeing them get like a break for like the first time I think this year, or first time in a long time, that's obviously not just BTS or EXO, is insane. It's so, I'm like just so happy for them. Aside from Wendy's solo next year, Red Velvet will continue to focus on solo activities. I can see some more members leaving since the way Chilko happened to give me Holiday Night Team. Like more, well, there's no solo so far this year. We did have Wendy's solo in March, but we've had one Red Velvet come back this year, and they're another kind of like a small repackage with their 10-year anniversary song for their 10-year anniversary, and they are still in one of their recent concerts. They've mentioned about doing another album, so luckily I don't think they'll be stopping anytime soon. Got the Beat might be as dead as Super M, yeah, probably. I mean, it's a good idea, it's just I think, again, they just don't know what to work with, what the concept is, so yeah. Stray Kids will have another mini and tour soon. Does the 5-star tour count? ITZY already have their comeback and tour lined up. I think they'll still be full for most of the year. And Mix will finally get their first GP hit and their first tour. They got a good amount of music to show once we'll see that, and I think Sonia and Dash were like quite popular, but I don't know how popular they are with the GP. No tour yet either, I don't think. And with that, I'm going to leave it there. Going through all these predictions has been really, really fun. There's obviously been some that were really, really close, like specifically detailed close, and some that you're just like, what crack are you smoking? What are you on? And it's really interesting just to look back, predicting about new groups coming out and then not realising the impact they'll have. It's just interesting. I think being a K-pop fan for over, was it going to be 7 years this year, Jesus Christ, and experiencing everything since end of 2017, 2018 onwards, has been really interesting to look back on this as well as learning a couple new things as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. Again, like I said, I mean no harm or offence to any idols or artists mentioned in this video, and obviously there's predictions I've cut out just because I don't think they're appropriate, or they're kind of like the same over and over again, but I will link the post to this below if you want to read them yourselves and find others I might have not talked about, because it is really fun. And thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you very soon.